Women are under so much pressure to stay young and look young. The thing that's aging us the most is men. Okay, so I want to read something I saw. One of my friends posted this on Facebook today. I'm going to tag the creator who's on TikTok who said this. It starts off by saying men generally don't replenish women. And I absolutely agree with that. I'm going to show you some proof of that as soon as I'm done reading this. They go from woman to woman, draining their life force, or they drain the woman at home until she has nothing left. Just listen to married women speak about their experiences. I keep telling y'all, that's why listening to divorced and widowed women will tell you more about the reality of men and dating men than anyone. It's not because they're bitter. It's because they have lived experiences. I mean, some are bitter, but they have every right to be. Usually, they don't want to marry men because men are going to slowly unalive you and make you look old. So just look at how they age and are eventually depleted. This is why they choose to stay single after being divorced or widowed. Women replenish each other. This is why relationships between women are so important. Women are often left depleted from men, which is why they look so good after a breakup. She dropped what was robbing her of her life force. So this is what I looked like when I was dating that abusive man, like almost 10 years ago. So I guess I'm like, 30? I'm 36 in this photo. This was the beginning of our relationship too, by the way. And I remember finding this book in the restaurant being like, this is me. I feel like my problem is worrying. Of course my problem is worrying, but the main reason I was worrying is because I was dating a sociopath who I intuitively knew was going to ruin my life. Here's another picture of me during that relationship. Not only did I feel like I was dating a literal vampire, like I had no energy. No energy. I couldn't even dance. I used to dance to techno every morning when I woke up as a way to just get energy out and kind of thrust my hips. And, I'm ADHD, man. I have unlimited energy, and it was a good outlet for that energy. And by the time I was like a few months into this relationship, I had no energy to dance, which is one of my favorite things to do. I just remember being like, I just can't be bothered. Not only that, and like I've said in previous videos, he literally tried to make me gain weight. I had struggled with, and he knew that I had a long history with bulimia. And I was in recovery when I started dating him. Thankfully, I did not relapse, but I came this close because he was feeding me. He literally said, and I quote, "I'm going to fatten you up so no man will want you." Also admitted to trying to get me pregnant so I couldn't leave him. Said it out loud to my face. I worked at a pizza restaurant. He was one of the cooks. He made me pizza with extra cheese. He gave me brownies and cookies and just fed me all the time, and even fed me meat despite being a vegetarian. I have a whole video about him, making this big deal out of making me elk soup and how I just didn't appreciate him when I tried to make a fuss about not wanting to eat elk soup. Anyway, this was me towards the end. I literally ended up in the hospital. And I don't know if it's like a throat chakra thing. I'm sure it is. But from biting my tongue, from swallowing the rage that I should be feeling at this man and all he had done to me. He had essayed me. He had literally just robbed me of all of my peace. I got to the point where I couldn't say anything to him because I was so afraid of him. And it was all stuck right here, biting my tongue. I ended up in the hospital. Had to be fed through, a tube in my arm because I couldn't swallow because I had this big white thing in my throat. They almost removed my tonsils because they're like, "We don't know what this is or why it's here." And I'm like, "I have a feeling it might be about the guy I'm dating." And they're like, "What?" I'm like, "Just forget about it. Just give me some time." Because I knew I was on my way out of New Mexico. I knew I was leaving him. I was just trying to hang on. But I almost ended up dead before I left. I ended up in the hospital before I left with this. I was traumatized more in those last few weeks with this man than the entirety of our relationship. So when women say it gets worse when you try to leave, we're not lying. They made me take all these medicines, right? So that I could swallow, but I made it out. Thanks to women. Women got me out of that relationship, of course. One flew down from Alaska to literally drive me out of the state of New Mexico and get me to safety. Now, let me show you what not only not having a vampire in your life is like, but what it's like to date someone who pours into you, who loves the shit out of you, right? Because it's not that you can't ever date men again, but men, unless they are partners, unless they love and cherish you and pour into you and make your life easier and make you love yourself even more. Because if you date the wrong man, you will hate yourself even more. Even if you loved yourself going into that relationship, you will come out of it hating yourself because you knew that you deserved better. On some level, even if it was buried way down there, you knew it. You knew you deserved better and that you didn't deserve this, even if that voice is just a tiny whisper. And so it chips away at your self-esteem, your confidence, your self-love. Every day that you're with a man who exploits you, who cuts you down, because that's what men love to do. They love to knock us down because of their own insecurities and knowing that most of them don't even deserve us or what we do for them. They are parasites. Unhealed men, insecure men, and men who will not deconstruct patriarchy are nothing but parasites. They will age you. And you'll get autoimmune diseases and all kinds of sicknesses from dealing with the stress of these men. Being with a man who truly loves you and pours into you. My friends joke, especially my friend Daisy. Love you, Daisy, if you're seeing this. She was like, you're literally aging backwards. This was me 9 years after this photo. 9 years. This is me. This is me. People, when they saw me at the end of that relationship, they were like, you don't even look like yourself. I'm full of energy. If you follow me, you probably know that. I'm just like, my husband calls me Tornado Rainbow, just like full of energy, a mess, but a beautiful mess, right? Full of color, full of like life. I'm so excited about life in general. By the time I got out of that relationship with that man, I hated the world. I hated life. He came this close to putting that fire out in me. That fire that has been the thing that has sustained me. It's my favorite part about myself. And that man almost squashed it. But baby, I am back. And I am somehow aging backwards. I do not have a man sucking my life force out of me. I even look better than I looked when I was single. Which is like, what? But you know what? I take care of myself more now than even when I did when I was single because I'm with a healthy partner who holds me accountable to my own standard of care. And he inspires me to do better and be better. We challenge each other. That's the point of teammates. Look at this bitch. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. I even dress different. I dress full of color. And I'm like even finding parts of myself I didn't know I had because I feel safe instead of exploited and unsafe. Look at this. Look at this sexy bitch. I wear dresses now. What? 45, baby. 45. 45. 45. This is at a French wrestling match. Hilarious. I still need to give you all that video. Let me know if you want to see that. Those videos take me a long time to make and no one ever watches them. But if you really want them, let me know. Man, this is me. This is one of my favorite photos of me at a French monster truck rally. I don't really care about monster trucks, but I'm from the South and my relatives love this crap. So I kind of feel like it was a window for my husband into my family, but here in France. Totally different, by the way. But this joyful, curious, overly excited about the dumbest crap spirit. This is her. This is me. What dating the wrong man who does not appreciate you will do is will not only hold you back from discovering who you are, but those parts about yourself that you love the most, he will rob you of those because you can't keep up with yourself, your wants, your needs when everything goes back to him, right? He's the sun and you're just a planet. Do not let these men rob you of your life force and leave you like that. Look at this dog. Even if they're not abusive, they will absolutely take years off of your life and unalive you slowly through your nervous system. Please, please be careful what man you let into your life, into your home, between your legs, into your heart, because it's an honor and a privilege to be there. And if they don't realize that and treat it as such, under patriarchy, you will lose. And you may even lose your life. Please be careful, y'all.